welcome back. It's a new day, I got a good night's sleep, and I'm ready to continue. In the last episode, we went from 20 to 28, and while we were doing that, we actually never visited the trainer, so my first order of business is absolutely going to the Orgrimmar and getting new abilities, maybe getting up to date on my professions as well. Okay, wow, that is quite the list of spells. Obviously, I'm not gonna learn all of them because I only have 4 gold to my name, so I'm just gonna single out the more important ones, pick those up, and leave the rest. I'm 40 silvers of Retribution Aura 2. I forgot to actually calculate my money. Maybe I'll make it if I sell something. Okay, I sold some of the profession things to the vendor, things like cloth that I was planning to use for first aid, and even some flowers, so I think this should be enough. Okay, nice, there it is, rank 2 Retribution Aura as well. We are spiking so hard in DPS with these upgrades that we got. And while I'm here, I'm also gonna work on my alchemy, that way I can free up some of my backspace from the flowers that I've gathered, plus level up my alchemy. And these Elixir of Wisdoms are not even that bad of a Guardian Elixir. The one that I'm using right now gives me 50 armor, but hey, like a wise man once said, 5 intellect is better than no intellect. And we end at 102 alchemy, which is not bad. For reference, the absolute maximum a profession can go up to is 450. So that's the absolute, like, ultimate goal of the professions. And everything's done in Orgrimmar, there's nothing left here, so I'm gonna continue my way to 1000 Needles, which is south of Barrens. And it's gonna be so nice leveling with these 8 levels worth of upgrades. I'm gonna hit like a truck. And while I'm here, I'm gonna take a nice little detour through Camp Taro just to pick up the flight path like I always do. They're really convenient to have, as I will need it later. And speaking of distractions and detours, I'm gonna do the dwarf quests from this guy as well. They're really close. And it would be a waste to not do them because they're pretty much free XP. And you know me, I love free XP. Huge chest upgrades, hell yeah.
How may I aid you? Goodbye.
Okay, I did not mean to pull this whole room, but let's leave it this guy, sure, why not? Oh my god, paladins are so busted. Those are 8 mobs that were all my level roughly. But I'm not complaining, we all like big pulls. The only people who don't are the tanks that have to deal with ninja pulls and wives, but we are not those people.
Here there. Be good.
Friend, go in peace. Farewell.
That's still recharging.
Okay, that was the last dwarf quest. No more distractions for real, surely, right? We're going straight into 1000 Needles now. And welcome to the 1000 Needles, friends. A beautiful zone that consists of some stones, sand, and a comfy little salt desert to top it off. If you're even slightly familiar with this place, you know that it's a logistical nightmare to traverse, especially for new players. And why is that? Well, it's because most of the Tauren population decided that they want a penthouse view. So they settle on top of the mountains, and well, the freeway post, which is the main horde base, the way there is intuitive enough, right? But even the bad guys decided that they want to live on the mountains, where the only way to get to their base is through this little hill on the mountain. Like, how are you ever going to find this if you don't already know about it? I remember as a kid it took me like an hour to find the hidden pathway because I actually tried to make my own ways through mountains and whatnot. It was so bad. Luckily for us, the zone has its good sides as well, and that is the sand desert, the Shimmering Flats, because it has a huge quest zone in the middle of it. And why is this quest zone here in the middle of nowhere? Well, that's because the goblins and gnomes of Azeroth decided that they want to do goblin and gnome stuff. But anyway, the reason why I love this area so much is because this place has like 6 to 7 quests that you can do simultaneously. Like, no matter what you're killing, no matter where you're going, you're always doing all of the quests at the same time. And that, if anything, is so efficient and so lovely. I don't know what else to tell you. And here we are, the great lift of the 1000 Needles. What a sight every time I come here, man. This place actually got quite a divided fan base. Some people really love it and some people really hate it. I think I'm a bit more on the loving side just because the quests are so straight to the point. Go here, kill this, do that. I don't know, I really like it. And speaking of finding things, I'm gonna start here by trying to find the Galax Centaur messenger who is carrying the assassination note. But he's a bit tricky to find because he's kinda roaming the area on this road, so we'll see if we can stumble upon him. And look who it is. Fortunately that did not take long. Usually I'm stuck here waiting for him to spawn because I just can't find him. And there we go, assassination note acquired. And here's actually the reason why I'm really happy I found the messenger. And that's because this note has actually a follow-up quest where I just have to kill 3 assassins that are attacking us right now. And that's 2 full quests worth of EXP for like minimum effort. I love that. Assassins assassinated, no upgrades unfortunately, but we are here for the experience. And here we are at the Freewind Post, one of the 2 quest hubs in the zone. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do the usual, take the flight path, take the quests, and then just start knocking them out one by one. And to be honest, I don't even think this zone has any bad quests, except maybe the ones where you have to find a patrolling guy and it takes a while to find. Or, well, there's one with gathering 10 plants in water that refuse to spawn, but other than that, this zone is goated. And while I'm here, might as well make this place my home, just because I want to get some use out of my Hearthstone instead of making it just go completely unused, which sometimes happens to me.
It's locked.
And here's everyone's favorite hardcore quest. All you have to do is walk off this little ledge, but I always had that sneaking suspicion on every single hardcore character that what if the servers crash while I'm falling down? But it never actually happened, and neither did it happen now, so it's only gonna stay an intrusive thought until the next time. And with that purifying earth, the first set of quests is done. What I'm gonna do now is heart back to Freewind Post and make my way to Thunderbluff, because believe it or not, Thunderbluff, which is the capital of Torrens by the way, holds a couple of important quests for 1000 needles, and I really wanna go get them before I continue here. I don't know why, but I'm getting the sneaking suspicions that maybe there's a correlation between torrents and lifts, but maybe it's just me. And that's 1 out of the 2 quests. And quest number 2, now it's back to work for us. And by work I of course mean getting some potions and becoming an expert herbalist. Hit him with the back-to-back 2-time professional experts. And we're back in the 1000 needles. It's time to get started on the second round of quests, which will be a bit more. The first round was maybe 5 quests. I think this is gonna be around 8-ish if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's gonna be really good because there's some elite quests and a lot of experience to be had. And with this turn in we get the big level 30. And even though it's a big round number, we actually don't unlock anything too huge from the abilities, but we get the Sanctified Retribution talent, which gives us 3% flat increased damage, and our Retribution Aura does 50% increased damage, which is really nice, especially on the later ranks once we start dealing more and more damage with it.
What brings you here? We shall.
And here we are in the Bad Boy Mountains. And what I have to do here is basically just gather some notes, kill some guys and escort an NPC out. And after that I think we're pretty much done with the zone for the time being, because I'm still a bit too low level to tackle this salt desert. Note number 1. And the second one. And there's the last note. Now all I have to do is to kill a couple of guys, Arnak being the leader of these guys, and a serpent named Arikara, or however you wanna pronounce that. Oh yeah, and I also have an escort to do here, so can't forget about that. This is one of the guys that used to be an elite before Rat, but now it's just a complete pushover, so yeah, no problems here. Oh man, looks like there's a group here waiting for the boss and the escort at the same time, and yeah, seeing as I can't group and I don't want to grief them and try to tag it, so I'm just gonna take a break and come back later. Hopefully there's no one here then. Oh nice, he spawned. Finally. I took like a 40-minute break, and once I came back there was no one here, which was what I was hoping for. But anyway, that's Arnak done, and that's everything done here except the escort quest, but it's not spawning, and now that I really think about it, it's really slow, so I don't think I'm gonna wait for it. I think it's just better if I skip it fast. There's a nice weapon we can never use. I just realized that both of these quests actually give me an upgrade. The wrist gives me like +3 strength, +1 agility, and the legs give me 5 strength, 6 stam, so it's like really big upgrades for me actually. And I know that I said earlier that I was a bit too weak to take on the South Desert, but with these huge upgrades I'm feeling a bit mischievous, I'm feeling a bit cheeky. I think I'll just try and take them on, because now that I think about it, in the end, isn't this series all about overcoming the odds? So we'll see what happens. Over 17k of EXP for like 30 minutes of questing is definitely not bad at all. And with those quests I think that's 1000 needles done and dusted. A few bad quests that I don't wanna do because, well, they're bad. And looking at the map here, I do have some scattered hand-ins, and I'm not too sure what's next, so I'll just go hand those in, I guess. So, 1000 needles was completed, we were close to level 32, and it was time to move on. But what happened after this was, well, nothing really. No grand challenges, no interesting storylines that I could work with, no Drainex. God, I miss him. It was just Punchline hitting things and, well, doing quests. And seeing as I don't want to make the next 3 episodes consist of musical quest montages and slow progress, I'll instead treat you to some storytelling. After his triumph in the 1000 Needles, Punchline came to the conclusion that his next destination would be the Hillspread foothills. On his way there, he stopped by the ruins of Lodron to listen to the long-gone whispers of Arthas and Terenas Menethil. After the riveting conversation, he would leave Undercity behind and venture to Hillsbrad foothills to teach the local mages of Dalaran a lesson about the school of magic known as Fistology. Punchline would soon find himself at the gates of Hammerfall in Arathi Highlands. While there, he did some important favors for the townsfolk, helping them prosper. His next destination would lead him to Desolus, where he found out that the name does indeed fit. Like for real, there's nothing in this zone, it's so empty. Soon after, he would find himself in the Dustswallow Marsh, where he would overestimate himself over and over again. But after some time in the swamp, he would finally hit level 40 and most importantly, find himself a new cool hat. But in the end of the day, I don't want to skip around too much and make you guys feel like you missed out on anything, so I'm gonna show you every single level up from level 32 to 40, because honestly, that's the best part anyway, right?
That's still recharging. That spell isn't.
How you doing?
I can't cast that yet.
The winds guide you. Go.
Can't do that yet. It's locked.
So we had just hit level 40, and before I actually hand it back to the live version of myself, I want to quickly brief you guys over what talent choices I made along the way. So feel free to pause the video here and check them out in depth, but if you want a quick TLDR, we basically just got more flat damage percent, we got crit chance, and we reduced the enemy's attack power against us. So nothing too crazy yet, but I suspect now that we're 40 we start unlocking those more interactive talents like Art of War procs and Repentance, but anyway, let's continue. And with the level 40 talent point, we're actually gonna put it into the Judgments of the Wise. I know it's a bit of a boring choice, but the sustained mana is really underrated, and I'm gonna unlock the Repentance and Art of War later anyway, so might as well save the best for last. And with the level 40 we actually unlock some huge things for the account, but before I go get them, I have a couple of quests laying around really close to me, so it would be a waste not to do them.
It's locked.
Do I like these boots? I think I like these boots, yeah. 13 strength, that's not a bad belt. That translates to 26 attack power, so it's definitely an upgrade, I think. Yeah, it is. Joyous Journey is doing some work. We're actually gonna hit level 41 before we even get to unlock the big level 40 stuff. But regardless, that's Dustswallow Marsh completed more or less, and now it's actually time to go get those big upgrades that I was talking about earlier.